Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Blind. It is just about that time now, once again, to get working on the main scenario quest. We've been doing so many dungeons, getting so many levels. Finally got Dragoon here to level 60. Pair that with Bard. We should be pretty much good to go. We'll see if just doing the main scenario quest is only enough for like one job to level up reasonably. Previously I've been doing like all the side quests too. That was easily enough for 2 jobs. It's also quite a bit of experience per level here. But also the main scenario quests seem to give reasonable amounts of XP, so we'll see how things go. We can also technically continue level 60 stuff with Gunbreaker. That'd be a huge mistake. Tanking with 0 tank experience. Dancer was given to us for free. We got Black Mage also. Technically an option. Just like being able to run through the dungeons and attack at the same time. Lots of just having to be very stationary. But also, big giant fiery explosions, so pros and cons, I suppose. Another potential con we're currently dealing with, though, is something I want to see if we can figure out at the start here. The weapons. I'm level 255. I mean, it's technically better, but is it really? Since it's just a basic item. I want to see if we can find a use for these tomestones. It's not here, because there's nobody here that uses tomestones. And it's not out at the earlier area, because that's just all level 50. It's over in Revenant Stolen here. Got a bunch of level 50 stuff there. We're going to look through the other areas. We made it further and further. There's at least some other, like, main towns. Ishgard was, like, just the start here. They've got, like, basic tier stuff at these stores. I guess the also question would be, how good are the basic tier compared to what we'd actually be purchasing? Imperium, Everything's Spine. Out here. Is there a Cloud Top? Not really. Oxzundu, Weeping City, Kurthus. Azis La. I don't think so. Kurthus. Western Highlands, Dravania. We got in Dravania. Tailfeather, not really a main big crazy place. XIV is just the dragons. Just a couple quests out here. Idleshire? It's kind of something. What other places are there? Mogholm, no. Zenith, no, that's just a tower. Idleshire, maybe? There's a couple of things over here. There was like the weekly board or something like that. There's a couple other stores and stuff here. Tinkerers and traders. I mean, what are you trading for? Weapons? What kind of weapons you got? 145 item level. A little 58 stuff. It's like all that tier of stuff. You'd probably be able to get that all over in the shop in Ishgard anyways. You can still get these things. You want this for 1 gil? Go crazy. Okay. That's not quite what we need. Some maps in here. Shop. Summoning Bell, traders galore. Shop over there. The Wondrous Tales, that was like the weekly stuff. Materia stuff, another trader, a bunch of traders. There's all these guys. Could be something, in theory. More of a main spot than a lot of places out here have been. What are you doing? 59 quest. You're to rise to the ranks in Clan Centurion. Level 59 quest. Guess previous time we were here, maybe we didn't have level 59. It's unlocking something here. See if it's just a quick thing to do. So you're the famous... Actually, are you? Clans all buzz with talk of the brave young adventurer who's joined our ranks. But tell me, how is a storied young feller like you only approved to take on level 2 marks? Scared of getting that pretty face of yours scratched, are you? It's up to you, but if you got stomach for a new challenge, go back to that inn and tell Arlene that Euthonius says he's holding you back. If he doesn't approve you for more advanced marks, he'll have to deal with me. This is related to the like the hunt board over in Ishgard, I guess. Alright. Not that we really need tier 3 marks, but you know, options. We need junk and scrap. Junkmonger. Successful, obtained, registered. Already have it. Some Phoenix down. Doesn't work in combat or something. Scrap. Items 1. Various materials necessary to craft orphanage donation components. Components for something. Near Eastern Antique. Clear prisms. Glamour Dispeller. So it's got 3 different sets. Materials for something. Nuggets and stuff. Titanium. That's more expensive stuff in here. Void glue. Ink. Options. Now we're looking for them. Splendors. I'm here to offer my service to those who have been approved by House of Splendors. That's Rowena's House of Splendors. Exclusive goods. Collectibles. Script. Collectible appraiser. Register for the house. No unsolicited submissions. Let's see. And Runstall. That's just another part of it. Is that up there? Okay, flying in town. Painting guy? Purchase paintings. Lenosia. Oil painting of cellulite base. That could be nice for decorating stuff. Not exactly what we're looking for though, still. It's alright. I'm in the main building here, if anything. This whole line of guys here. Parts exchange, Chumstones exchange, Chumstones exchange. Alexander parts. I think we had some Alexander parts at one point. Is there any items? These are 250, but blue, armored. Springs and petals and bits and bombs. Okay. Don't have any of those right now. Primal gear exchange. Expanse tokens for item level 175 stuff. Tombstones. Alright. Here we go. Tombstones of Poetics. Yep, that's the ones we have. I'm level 240. I'm level 270. Weapons. And probably armors. Special arms. Some cluster. Umbrite. Oils and shells and reagents and stuff. Not really what we need. What would the other then? Various reagents and orchestration rolls. That's a bit expensive to buy those for tombstones here. Right. How about 270 weapons? Let's see what we got in here. Here's the gunbreaker item. There's a dragoon. It's plus 9 damage. It's 600 of these. I mean, we're at cap, so purchasing anything would be better than not having anything. Let me compare this. Augmented Shire Halberd. I'm comparison. It is plus 9 damage. No attacks higher. Plays the same. Way more strength and vitality. Crit. Let's get determination. You think this is better? It's a higher item number. Higher all the stats. So if this one has direct hit range, this has determination. 270? Yeah. Dragoon. Get one of those. And then while we're here, I might need to look to the bow here too. Recommend it? Yep, it's better. Equip that. Looks clean. If we go into the weapons here, it's over 50. I have a 145 bow that we're currently using. We can definitely do better than that here. 270 weapons. Let's get that here. Augmented Shire Longbow. Yep, it's fine. Yep. Alright. Now we're in a reasonable spot. That's good for the Dragoon. Do the gear set. Gear set list. What? We got a lot of stuff in here. Barn. Flip it. Got the 210 set of armor from the level 60 quest. Now we can upgrade the weapon. By a lot. Nice. Update gear set. 192. 196. 208 for the Dancer. 219 for the Gunbreaker. Yep. And pretty stylish bow here too. Very good. Okay. We can work with that. We can work with that. This armor set's absolutely wild too. The multiple eyes. Really leaning into the whole dragon look. Even more so than the previous set. Okay. With that, let's go back here quickly. And it's kind of at the same spot for the main quest anyway. So we're right where we need to be. Now, with a slightly stronger weapon. How much stronger? Oh, at least a little bit. Down here. Got our tier 3 hunts available, I guess. Oh, see you've met Elias then, have you? Well, if she says you're ready for level 3 marks, it ain't worth arguing. Just make sure you're well prepared before you go after one of these beasts. They're more dangerous than anything you've hunted so far. Rewards are bigger too, provided you make it back in one piece. Any road, go and have a gander at the clan hunt board. As long as you understand the risks, I'll let you pick any level 3 mark that takes your fancy. We probably shouldn't. But, you know, options. Hunt board. What are we talking about here? It's covering bills and digital 1 levels, trying to select 3. Complete. Okay. Level 3. Posted daily still. Alright. Clockwork Paladin. Alpha Quadrant of Asisla. 1500 gil, 15 seals, 16,000 XP. Get two hands. I don't know how difficult any of these are. Is a question. Something. No, what now? What now? Another tier? Just unlock everything. Elite and Dangerous. It's good news for you from the Master of Clan Centurio. Okay. Well met, Arctic. I've got some good news for you. Had word from Sir Lanast, Master of Clan Centurio. Seems he has been keeping half an eye on your progress, and he reckons you're just about ready to spread your wings as a fully fledged elite mark hunter. Sir Lenast was born to a noble family, but he left all that behind to head out hunting, tracking down the fiercest foes and destroying them for the good of the realm. They'll call him the original hunter-scholar. Being recognized by a feller like that ain't nothing to be sniffed at. Don't be letting it get to your head, though. These elite marks are on a whole nother level to aught you've hunted before. Charging them willy-nilly is a sure way to meet your maker, given their ranks based on how deadly they are, just like the grand companies do. Find the bills for elite marks up on the clan hunt board alongside the others. Free to take whichever bill you choose, but make sure you know what you're doing before you head out hunting. Every one of these beasts is a nightmare incarnate. I feel like this probably originally required you to actually complete some hunts before you get the next tier. There's already so many of those that really do not need it at this stage. Elite bills. Paid us to look at it. Elite clan hunts now accessible. Defeat rank S, rank A, and some rank B elite marks, and we rewarded with Centurio seals. Exchange for exclusive items. I don't think the exclusive items were even things we cared about either, but still. Posted weekly. 100 seals, look at that. False Gigantolopithecus. A weekly situation, huh? Fascinating. 100 seals is at least something, I guess. If we were worried about that. It's also only weekly, though, so. Make of that what we will. Hey, Alvino, how's it going? Good invariably triumphs over evil in fairy tales, yet they are conspicuously reticent about what follows. The lower commanders within. Pray proceed, sir. Yep. Let's see where we were with this whole thing before we ran out into all those dungeons and stuff and all the leveling. Everybody? Hi. I'm a Dragoon now.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities. I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop. But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
No.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited.
Yeah.
Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number question our methods.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the Broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order, but such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We wish to treat with the dragons of XIV. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
XIV? You would speak with Vidofnir then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor?
Yep.
Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
Okay. Still problems in Ishgard here, clearly.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens. Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph. As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
Okay. And the problems outside the city also not solved, clearly. Probably should go back and review exactly what happened with the story before we stopped doing the main story. Thought we defeated Nidhogg and then more things happened, clearly. Lucia. I know little of the lands these dragons call home, this XIV. Had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would seem a far more daunting prospect. I confess, I myself once shuddered at the thought of it, yet even the longest journey begins with the first steps, does it not? Ah, but ere we set forth, Artik and I must needs inform our comrade of our plans. Very well, I shall see to my preparations. Let's go and bid farewell to Tataru. Artik? Yep. Speak to Tataru. Here. Always being very helpful. Jumping. Right. So, what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. I know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A diplomatic mission to XIV, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Vidofnir happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with Ishulta in Idleshire. She'll be there to receive our guest. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything. But this scholar just happens to be... Time permitting, as I said, we shall endeavor to join Ishtola. But if we cannot, pray pass on our regards. Let's be off, Archie. We have kept the first commander waiting long enough. Alright. Go. Back out of here. Speak with Lucia. Make our way over to the dragons. You're ready then. Good, so am I. Alright. Hey, look, it's more food things. We care which ones we get. Piety, spell speed, tenacity, direct hit. Urchin loaf. That sounds a lot less appetizing than a hot chocolate, not gonna lie. Alright. Breaking the cycle. It's only 5,000 XP. Probably just going over there. Let's be fine. I was ready to escort Lucia to XIV. Path is long but known to us. From Falcon's Nest, we shall cross the Western Highlands, make for Tailfeather in the Dravinian Forelands. There we can stop to rest and replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the stables await. Alright. That's accepted. Dravania. XIV. You guys just want to take the teleport there? We have fun here. What's outside Tailfeather? Close. Probably wouldn't appreciate unknown people just popping into town. You know? That's reasonable. Okay. We are here. I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Dravanian soil would be at the head of an army. Here I am, ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of mine enemies. Full well do I know how difficult it can be to set aside the past. Though it was I who first proposed recruiting Ysael to our cause. I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I had uttered them, for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hands, men, women, children, all slain in the name of an implacable Lady Iceheart. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in common cause. At our side she fought in service to the greater good, even to her dying breath. While that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she'll be remembered not merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. You ask much, Master Alphino, yet who can say what might come to pass, should our negotiations bear fruit? Yes, of course. Let's press on to XIV, if you'll follow me. And we'll following... On here, XIV. We'll just go to XIV. Yep. There we go. They've had to walk all the way there, it seems. Sounds like a them problem. Going up. Hole, ceiling. Ceiling hole, ceiling hole. There we go. Good off from you. How's it going? Thou art ever welcome here, friend of Ysael. But this one I do not know. Pray forgive us this unannounced visit, Vidofnir. May I present to you, Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, and our trusted friend. It's an honor to meet you, Vidofnir. I am come as an envoy of Sir Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and acting leader of the Holy See. Indeed, you may speak, Knight. For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war. Now we know the truth. The King Thorin and his Knights 12 did willfully betray and murder the great worm Ratatska, shattering the peace between our peoples. For 1,000 years, our leaders conspired to conceal this truth which was at last laid bare by the Warrior of Light, the Azure Dragoon, and Ysael. Alas, the deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Ysael once did, and we must make that dream a reality, as she could not. We humbly beseech you, Vapnir, join hands with us in friendship once more, before the eyes of my people, in Ishgard. A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, Knight. However, I cannot yet give you mine answer. May I ask why? This matter concerns my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. Then we will wait. After 1,000 years at war, we shall not give up on peace for want of patience. Ah, fear not, Knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. Yeah, so soon. My humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith until we meet again. Okay. Then we walk over here for another cutscene. Given the circumstances, I could say that went rather well. To be frank, I'm surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. But you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Well, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Sharlayan. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing comrades. I pray your journey is swift and uneventful as ours was. And thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than a 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice it to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Of that I have no doubt, Master Elfno. I only hope that fates will not hold you to your word. Breaking the cycle. It's a start. It's a start. Another time, another place. I was eager to set out for Sharlayan. So, it would seem we have time to greet this scholar after all. How delightful. I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. I can only assume she is privy to some new investigative technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Shtolna in Idleshire. We were just in Idleshire. Must have just missed her. Idleshire. Alright. I guess if we had just went straight into main quest stuff, coming back here probably would have reminded us that this is a place with a lot of things. That would have worked too. Hey. I see. 'Tis good to see you. I confess I had assumed your business and I was trying to detain you longer. Did your meeting with Vidofnir go well? Yeah, pretty well. As well as can be expected. She must discuss Sir Amaric's proposal with Hrosvelga, of course. She seems amenable to the suggestion. What of our Sharlayan guest? Has she arrived yet? She has, but when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on Front Bridge. We should be on our way. To outside of the bridge. Over here. They're gone. Or just waiting. It also works.
I'm terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Sharlayan motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, sir.
I would say we look more like a warrior of dark currently, but, you know, dragoons.
And who is that I spy but young Alpha No Levieur himself? I dare say someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
We, Miss Kryle and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryle.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking. Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
Okay. The armor also has a dragon tail. It's pretty wild. Really leaning into it here. Alright. So Matoya's cave. So we're here. Just need to fly all the way down through the hinterlands, yeah. Okay. It's a plan. Following the teleportation magics. We've tried stuff like that before. But a more sophisticated approach, perhaps. That's okay. Going through here. Tension over there. Fates and such. Gathering fate. More of a boss kind. Yeah. Anyways. Down in the caves underneath, yeah? That's where this is. did a whole bunch of stuff in these caves previously. You did say we were headed for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Montoya meeting us on the way or something? It's a whole thing. It just opens. Question? In the eye of the beholder. Prospect of meeting the famous Master Montoya seems to have set Kryle thinking. I've heard many stories of Master Montoya. Some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured, they're all true. This way, and have care where you tread. Cave entrance. I would say it's well hidden, but there's this whole wooden pathway up to it. This doesn't help you open it if you don't know how, though, I suppose.
Oh, is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Montoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Montoya. I am Kryle, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our order's headquarters and the isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Kryle, you too possess the Echo.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the signs of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance, but never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, accepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya.
Okay.
Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock, I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Okay. Well, the question is, in what state would they be if they haven't gotten back yet? Michelle was like stuck inside the teleportation. That was an entire thing. Going outside Tailfeather. Yeah. Isn't something near mine or that? Huh. Everybody's just out here. Hanging out outside Tailfeather. Were I to find myself in an unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be to seek out signs of civilization. Ordinarily, perhaps, when in his wounded state, he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of unknown allegiance. Yet, even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Fear not, Cryle. I already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. Okay. This is impressive. You drew him from memory. A skill I acquired some years ago for reasons I no longer remember. Convenient. Suppose we split into two pairs. Y'shtola and I will inquire at the outlying encampments, while Artik and Cryle question residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Lost Bath and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let's begin. My, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Yeah, anyway, we have best get started. Find me when you're finished making your rounds. Yeah. Show a Buffalo picture to everybody in town. Or just a couple people. Search for a friend of yours. Let's have a look then. Buffalo sketch. Surprisingly accurate depiction of the missing Thancred, suggesting that Alhano may have mistaken his life's calling. No, ain't seen him around, sorry. Yeah. What's that you got there? Sketch? Yes. Can't say I know that face. Say he's something of a warrior? Heard a tale the other day about a vagabond who was brought down by a bandersnatch, by himself, and with style. Way they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was the bell of a bleeding ball. Sound like your man? Somewhat. I've just been out in the forest this entire time. Wild. And Grimold. A Huron man. Not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? Yes. I did spy this bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but it could have been him. This was beyond the forest, as I recall, along the river to the west of Tailfeather. You ever think he wasn't much of a hunter? That was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. Oh. Seems like they have been sighted. Finished? In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. See what the others have found. Over that way. We get to new areas, we're gonna probably need to get the whole flight ability again. Be very useful. I don't think we're gonna get new areas until the next expansion, but whenever that's gonna happen, we'll find out. Wait for everybody else to get done. They had to go to the outlying camps, so reasonable to take a little bit longer, yeah. Cool spear. Completely practical armor tail. My apologies for our late arrival. We thought it'd be wise to question as many hunters as we could. Okay. Many have made camp in inaccessible locations, ideal for hunting game, not so receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally skilled Huron hunter with whom no one is familiar. Though none chance to see the man's face, his height and build match Thancred's description, as does his fighting prowess. Okay. Matches what information we got. So we've heard the same tales. Be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Perhaps this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a Vath trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for a man of refinement. Seems a rather curious description for one of his kind. You're implying that Thancred sent a Vath to market in his stead. Why would he not go himself? Well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the live stream as your name day. It's a scene I shall never forget. Is it now? I like that. Well, I was pleased to see you. It's a simple statement of fact. The answer is that Thancred found himself in the same predicament. In any case, if he had dealings with the Vath, they should be able to tell us, no? Quite right. Krile, quite right. Seems reasonable. I have the beholder. Get some max potions and max ethers. Sure. We got inventory space now. That's okay, at least. Okay. Fano, a little slow, a little late. I would like very much to continue the search for Thancred. We're just gonna be a little slow and late, and looks like a whole thing's gonna happen. We will set forth, continuing to try to find Thancred, and then after that, probably Minfilia, depending on how things go. Getting the gang back together and all that. Science. Something, something. Next time. Goodbye.